Are you ready?
I am if y'all are.
Yep.
Okay, I'll call our meeting to order. It's a call meeting on December 27th. Steve, would you open us with a prayer?
Let's all go ahead, please. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come, Lord God, thank you for bringing us back to this meeting one more time. Lord God, we thank you for bringing us down to the last part of this year. Oh, Lord God, we ask you to just hold our hand, guide us in the right direction. And Lord God, let us do the will of this county. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. All right, we have the agenda before you do. Anybody have any, do you have any additions, corrections to the agenda? Or changes?
No.
All right, do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda?
I make a motion that we let the rest of be seated.
Hey.
I just swap with you. You get there and don't go.
How's everyone?
Good, how are you?
I believe everything's same, but I've been going through this. Oh, it's okay.
That's fine.
Lester, we're about to approve the agenda.
Okay.
Do you have any changes or corrections you see? All right, do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda?
I made that motion.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll go right on in with old business, and that's a quote from the cooler that's potentially used in the old prison camp building. And that was the quote you got from.
You just got one quote, right?
Yes, sir. We pulled the quotes that we got from I can't remember the name of the company. It's the one that Diverse Power uses. And, you know, they had given us quotes on generators back when we were applying for that grant. And the quote on their generator was to run that whole building, and it was $39,000. But other than them and this Electrotech, we couldn't find anybody else to quote on a generator.
I would like to see, before we decide to go with this price here, I would like to see another price on the table so we can go by. If that's what the commission wish, because I think that we need another quote before we approve this $12,850.
Okay.
And that is in addition to the $7,346 for park,
Yes, sir. That would be addition to that.
$20,000.
Yeah.
And then you gotta have a propane tank too.
Right.
Yeah.
Now the ones that the company with Diverse Power quoted, like I said, it was quoted to run the whole building, but it was a diesel operated, wasn't it, Ken? The generators that we applied for the grant, weren't all those diesel operated?
Yeah.
All of them
Okay.
should be diesel operated.
Okay.
Every generator you get a price on should be
The only one we
operated by.
talked about doing different was in the municipalities where they had the natural gas. We were gonna give them the dual fuel capabilities because they have natural gas and service to governmental buildings there.
Gas would be more expensive
And
than
if you want to go with one, go with this. Diesel lasts longer than gas.
Okay.
All right, so
Not like it's gonna be used a lot, I hope.
Yeah. That's what we got in our diesel. But a diesel lasts longer than gas. With that gas they be putting in that if you set up pretty long, be like we had to do clean our small generator. The ethanol they put in there, you don't never know what kind of gas you buy. You say you be buying premium gas, but you buying the ethanol, it clogs up everything. I had to rebuild the operator, clean out the whole entire system on that. So on my diesel generator, I ain't had to do anything.
the request at this point is to ask that we try to find some more bids before we take action on this.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we'll move on. Unless there's any other old business anybody knows we need to take care of. Okay, we'll go to new business, and that's our capital outlay and salary adjustment.
The sheet with the blue line at the top is your capital outlay projects for 2018.
Right?
And y'all remember, we budget the capital outlay in the general fund in one lump sum and move it to a capital outlay, a separate checking account for capital outlay, because it builds from year to year if we have money left over, which we did last year. So you had about $70,000 left over that you did not spend for 2017. So I added that to the $250,000 that's in there now. And then the total recommended on the capital outlay is $269,228.40. And I know y'all probably have some questions on some of these, so if y'all want to go
Yes. please.
line by line.
We'll start at the top.
Okay, elections, there's $15,000 in there, and that's the money that we've been budgeting for Miss Sandra to replace the voting machines.
All right, so that's not the entire election, that's just to replace those voting machines.
Yes, sir, because that's, replacing the voting machines is the capital expense out of her office. And a lot of our offices don't have capital expense in them.
Even though you budgeted this for replacement, have there been an indication that we need to replace these
She's been
machines?
saying for a couple of years that she needed to replace those machines, and we've budgeted money in there for her to do it, and she hasn't ordered them yet.
Then she's aware that it is in there for her.
Yes, sir.
It, but, okay.
So I think we need to leave it in.
We've told her every year. The public buildings, that is the 3679 is the auto for the public buildings supervisor. And it's only 6 months because it'll be paid off in 6 months. So all we had was 6 months on that.
That's for an RSV.
Yes, sir. Clerk of court, there's $3,000 for an Elmo system with computers. That was a request that came from the judge and the sheriff's department, and I don't really know what an Elmo system is. Jesse?
It's the system that when they put something up on the big screen,
Uh-huh.
it take it from the computer to the big screen.
It's a digital overhead projector, basically.
Okay.
You can lay a document or a photograph down on it, it projects for the jury, the judge, everybody to see.
Georgia State Patrol Public Safety.
Hold on a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Probate judge, Tony asked us about a bigger copier, so they could copy, I guess, the records.
Yes, sir. That request was for when we renewed the copier leases, which we haven't talked about whether we were going to cancel the copier that we've got now that's on the 5-year lease, or whether we were going to try to keep using them. Now we can get him, but that would be probably $80
So these are
a month.
leases, that's how much?
It would probably be $80 a month to change that one out.
Well, if you need a bigger copy machine, I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like
His request was, when y'all talk about copier machines, will you consider that? And that's something we hadn't discussed yet, so.
When the lease is up, when?
The lease will be up, we just got those last year, so it was a 5-year lease.
You got 2 more years, 2.5 years, do you?
You would actually have 4 more years on it.
Well, you just
Unless
paid
you
this year.
decide to cancel now, the way Tommy wrote
Do
the
you have to
contract.
pay anything for cancellation, do you?
We wouldn't, no, sir. The way Tommy wrote the contract, we can get out of it fairly easily, especially since they closed their Albany office. But that was one thing I was putting on a separate burner, because there's issues there. They closed the Albany office, so we don't have a representative here anymore. We don't have anybody we can call when we're having trouble. So That's why I was gonna bring that back at a separate time about the copiers. And that money is already budgeted in everybody's regular budget under your lease principal expense for copiers and,
It'd be required, but I'd like to see we
Yeah.
do that for his office.
okay,
So I think according to his email to me, he has, people have to leave the office
Leave
with
the
the,
office,
with the documents to get them printed off. So just make sure that
everything be done.
whatever we do when we do the lease, whether we break it, start all over, whatever, that he gets the copy machine that'll work best for him.
That works great for him.
okay.
What about a cost added though? We don't have a cost added. Or
Well,
whatever it costs, we gotta have.
we'll find out one day. I mean, we're not saying, we don't know it today, but we're just saying, when he gets
Get ready.
ready, he has
Well-
our permission to go ahead and get one that will be better suited for us. I don't imagine you're talking about a whole lot of difference
Not
in
a whole,
money.
not a
Just a
whole.
little bigger size.
It wouldn't be a whole lot of difference in the money.
Okay.
It would just be a bigger machine, and that's why it's not on here, is because it's budgeted in a
In
separate
leases.
part of the budget.
People have to come in now and if they
I
he have to
understand
go
that.
get, they have to go get somewhere else.
Okay.
All right, are y'all ready to?
Yes, ma'am. move on.
Okay. GSP Public Safety, current lease is the tag reader that we purchased for them several years ago, and that's $3,400.
That's what's left on it.
That's this year's payment, and I didn't make a note in here. I tried to make a note on here when we were paying them off, but I'll check I've got it sitting on my desk, and I can get the payoff on that. You want me to get it right now?
No,
Okay. They requested the 3 radars. I put 1 radar in there for y'all to approve or disapprove. I added it in there for total purposes. When you get down to the total and you
Now, the sheriff
see
had
how
said
much.
something about those radars at the last meeting we had, and the sheriff is here, and I don't know what and the feeling of the sheriff about those 3 radars.
Yeah, you don't know nothing about that.
Huh?
You don't really know nothing about
So what you
Well,
trying to tell me?
anyway.
that. My feeling towards that, I have no problem with GSP, but they don't do enough work for Randolph County for us to purchase 3 radars. That's my feeling about
We really need
that.
to
We
step up
purchase
on the
3
work.
radars, I feel like my people out here.
I don't know why the state can't afford to buy
State
their own
got money.
anyway.
I've never understood that either, but you know, in the past, they've always asked us
Yes, they
to
have.
purchase stuff for them, and we've always included it to present to y'all, and y'all have either approved it or denied it.
You know, I don't want to look over the sheriff because he our sheriff, he is our county.
Right.
And if we're going to use anything, I mean, I ain't got nothing against the GSP.
Right.
But we have to look at our situation on our sheriff because they are in the county.
Yes, sir.
And I
feel like they are.
And I kind of go along with what the sheriff has said also. I think the state, if they're, and we know that they're using radars, and I think the state should supply the monies that are needed to operate that program. Radar, which is a very useful device, and I just feel that the state should pick that up,
Okay.
as they are currently doing on some of them.
Okay, so y'all want to zero out that radar?
Unless it's going to go towards the sheriff.
We were fixing to go over all the sheriff's requests, and I think I've got everything in here that he requested for y'all. But I'm gonna just mark that zeroed for right now.
You can't, if you don't mind.
Okay. The Regions note, this is the sheriff's capital outlay. The Regions note that we currently have is 10 months at $3,083. So that we included $30,000 in there for that, and it'll be paid off in October. The 5 Chargers, 2 Tahoes that we talked about in the November meeting, I included financing cost on these. And your financing cost on that would be $48,000 a year. Your 2 tag readers, he's requested, he's getting 2 new deputies, and he's also requested tag readers in the past, so I put those in there. And if you finance those, it would be about $13,500 a year for payment on those. He asked for 16 tasers at $1,000 a piece. That's correct. Those I put in there to purchase outright and not finance those. He asked for 2 computers that work with the 2 tag readers, and that's $2,700, and that's in there. He did ask for extra money for ammo, and you could take that $4,000 and move it over to that extra money for ammo if you wanted to do that.
How long is the lease on those Chargers? The Tahoes and Chargers.
It will probably be a 5-year lease.
5 years. Okay.
Yes, sir. We haven't got all the paperwork back from BB&T yet, but they usually do those
And that
for
one's
5 years.
going out in 18, this year.
Yes, sir, in October of 18.
Okay.
5 years, you said.
Yes, sir.
So,
I'm from the Tahoe, Charge and all.
Yes, that's the 5 Chargers, the 2 Tahoes, all the equipment, the radars, and the cage and cameras to go in them. And that was the $240,000, right at $245,000 that we talked about in the November meeting.
So,
which we did approve then.
We approved it then.
yeah, the 265 includes finance charges over 5 years.
Yes, sir. And like I said, we haven't got the final documents back from BB&T yet, but usually our interest rate is very low on that.
Okay, so, and the suggestion is that we move that, at least at this point. Well, why don't we do this? Let's leave that 4,000 idea there, because you did make a note, if the money is available, then we can put that back in there in case we don't get any feedback on that.
You talking about on the radar for the GSP?
Yes,
Okay.
move that to the ammo.
Move that 4,000 to the ammo.
Got the
That's
radar.
for the state patrol.
Oh,
That's
I'm
for,
looking at mine that you sent the other day, and I wrote all over. Okay.
oh,
The one I
not
had
have-
to play with at home.
okay, yeah, that one.
Okay.
So all these new vehicles that you're getting, Sheriff, you'll have a radar included.
Yeah, radar included in it.
The Chargers and the Tahoe?
No, Tahoe, they're on top of
Okay.
Which one gonna have
the 5 Chargers. That's the radar, the cameras,
the cameras and all of them?
all that coming through. That's been built earlier. We put it all in.
Now which one you talking about putting the tag with on? 2 of them?
Two of the Chargers would have taxes. That'd be the tax cost.
Okay. On the first responders, there was a request that since we did not get the grant from the state to buy jump bags for any new trained people who were added onto the first responders, and I just put 16 on there. We don't know how many that will be right now, and that is up for discussion or negotiation or,
Back up. Always did.
okay.
Forest Service. We, our annual payment to them
It's
in the
budgeted.
regular budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, go ahead. then.
That's not a capital expense, so,
Okay.
okay.
We don't look for that to go up this year, are we? Have we heard anything?
No, sir, I haven't heard of anything going. Usually they send us a letter and I hadn't gotten a letter saying that it was going up.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, the junk bags.
okay. Then you've got the 911 center. I just put a note on there that we could add 50,000 from reserves if this becomes feasible for 2018. And I put the 250,000 in there. The sheriff and I and Jesse met with Bryn Jones from Meriwether County the other day. That's the guy that Diverse Power recommended that we meet with. And he is talking about it would possibly cost us around, was it 320,000? $320,000 to $400,000 to set up our own 911 system. And that would include the CAD system, the telephone system, the radios, the recorder, all of those expenses. So, and that stuff would be financed if y'all wanted us to proceed with that.
Well, the trouble we've been having, I don't think it'll be a bad idea if we want to go on and proceed with our 911 system. Yeah.
Now, when I say proceed with that, what I mean is getting final quotes from vendors like on the CAD system and things like that and bringing it back to you and giving you a final total
I was finna suggest that.
before we move forward.
That's what
Before
I'm-
get this on what it take to do our
Right.
own 911 system. And then what it gonna cost us.
Okay. All right, we'll,
Add the salaries, not just what it's gonna take to put the 911 system here, we got to add the salaries.
right,
Also,
right.
how many people? And
Right.
everything.
And we talked about that. One of the things he said was that he serves, let me find it in my notes right here. He has 8 trunk lines, 7 cities, and it costs them $66,000 a year to maintain that other than equipment. So he said he didn't think it would cost us, the maintenance part would cost us that much, because that's for 7 cities, 15 to 20 radio frequencies, 8 trunk lines. He thought we could operate that maintenance cost a lot lower than that because we don't have that much equipment. But our biggest expense is going to be the startup, and then you would have to hire 4 more dispatchers.
Yeah, 4 more dispatchers.
You're already paying 4. Those 4 could be used, plus then you would hire 4 more, which would cover your 24-hour shift 7 days a week.
But once you bring it back to us, and we look
Okay.
into it, see what we can do it.
Okay.
I think it'd be feasible for we to look into it, try to do our 911 system.
Okay.
But some of the things, bills that I see goes out, I think that it'll pay itself off in the long run.
it did what, Steve?
I said, I think it'll pay itself off in the long run.
Well, I just have to see us dive in there $500,000 deep into it. I know it'll be hours, but then you got all those costs from then on. And that was one of the reasons we decided to go with the regional 911 because of all the,
But y'all did, I didn't.
you did? Okay.
No.
Well, I did then.
Yeah, I did not.
Because it was gonna be, paying so many people all the time to man the station and the director and that.
But we're having so many problems right now with that. And until we got a lot of problems about with that.
Are there any means of, I know there have been quite a few issues, but are there any means, or what are they saying to correct the situation? Are there anything on the table for correcting the situation?
Yes, sir. They said that they would work on any problems that we had, and correct them as they come up. And then they're good about listening to us, but there's some things they don't know our roads. If we had local people dispatching, they would know our roads. There's pluses and minuses both ways. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
but if y'all want us to get the final prices,
It ain't hurt for us to look into it.
right. If you want us to get the final prices, we'll do that, get the final prices, tell y'all what it's gonna take, and then we can have a work session on just, when we get that, have a work session just on the 911 center so y'all can look at everything on that.
I think that'd be good.
Okay. Emergency management, fire department. There is a air fuel station, and there's $40,000 was the price on the air fuel station. And I included that to purchase outright, not to finance. And then we had the quote from, I think the quote was from 10-8 for the air packs, and that was $257,000. And we put that in there to finance, and those finance, I mean that $40,080. I based it off of what we were paying for the motor graders because it was about the same expense. So it could be a little more, could be a little less than the $40,800, but you'll see when you do your totals that you've got.
How long is that, 5 years too?
Yes, sir, we would do that for 5 years.
When you gonna apply for a grant for that, Ken?
We're still waiting to see if that grant's gonna be available.
AFG, didn't it just open up December 26th? I think it did,
Not on my screen, it hasn't yet.
because we've had people wanting prices and stuff.
But what I done was, that particular price right there is Stewart, Webster,
Yeah,
Richland, and all these surrounding counties are going to that, and they're trying to buy a volume deal, get the best price they can, and that was where we get that prices. So they're usually about almost $1,000 more per pack. And I think we got like 90 packs and something out there. So that quote, so.
yeah, it opened 12/26 through 2/2. Of course, you wouldn't know about it till next fall, whether you got it or didn't get it. While we're on the EMA and fire, we were supposed to buy some equipment to outfit that last truck we bought. We tabled it, November, December, because of slim funds.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? Is it in, it's not on here, is it somewhere else?
No, when I called Ken, that was were the only two things he mentioned, and I completely forgot about the equipment for the fire truck. Do you remember how much that was?
I want to say it was like right at 12 grand, 11,900, 11,890, something like that.
That's on the discussion we talked about the last time.
Y'all want to add that in there?
12,000?
Yes.
12?
Yeah.
Okay.
That what it gonna take, Ken?
Yes, sir. To get it to the state requirements to be legal.
That need to be added to,
Okay. I'll add that in there. Anything else on that?
Not bad. Well, let's see. I talked to Kenny this morning. These are small items. They're like medical gloves, and they should be in supplies or something like that. Because fire trucks don't have medical gloves on. Is that right? They don't have pads for the AEDs. And, those, was it CPR dummies that you was looking to hopefully purchase? So I don't have a clue what all that stuff costs.
I gave a quote.
We had a quote earlier in the year that y'all did not approve for the purchase of the dummies, the gloves and all that.
The gloves.
He should have a safety and construction expense in his budget that would come out of.
Yeah, I think that went from like 20 down to 5. That was the PPE, the bunker
Yeah.
gear, and that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Takes me a while.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is it? 12.5
Okay.
on that. Went down to 8.
Yeah.
But then he's got, what is that line right there?
First responders.
That line will be moved out since y'all separated out those. But he's got, all the supplies and materials is all put under one option. He can use his office supplies to order the,
They were moved to the county. wasn't it?
right. It was just put under all under one line item. So,
Okay. I said the 12,000 back to it for the equipment for the newest truck.
yes.
Okay. Y'all solved that right there. It's gonna come out of regular budget.
Those supplies.
Yeah, those smaller ones now, the CPR dummies, y'all have already denied one time. It would have to come back before the board to be approved.
Okay.
But 12,000 is coming out of capital outlay,
Right,
and the rest of it's out of the regular budget.
Right.
Pads and gloves.
right. Do the AED have batteries for them?
Very expensive.
I mean, do they have batteries that work now? The ones that are on the
Some of
truck?
them do, some of them do not.
Well, we probably need to get a quote on, because that would fall more under capital outlay. If I'd have known about that, I'd have told you that. You'll need to get a quote for those, anything to do with those AEDs.
I got
Can you
one.
get batteries for them now?
Yeah,
Okay.
There should be a quote in there from like October, November area when I went and recorded the batteries and the pads on how many I needed each.
Okay. I'll pull mine.
And the CPR is mandated for us, you know, the new folks, all of our CPR's out, so we have no way of keeping CPR without them, you know, at least get the set of 4 dummies, we do that several times.
So what are you using now?
On the CPR, we did use the Bena Vista stuff,
Oh, okay.
but because the new law took place, what was it, December? December 1st, your dummies have to have audio and visual capabilities from Telltale, so it has some kind of LED light and some kind of voice, whatever, to tell you you're doing good compression, not good compression, sensor. Then you can't use them anymore.
The price went up on cars.
Yeah, the prices went from $7 a card to $22 a card for our guys. So,
You probably need to revisit that at a later meeting.
What is Jamie use? Doesn't she teach it too? What's she using?
I'm not sure what she's using. Grady supplies her with everything she needs to teach it, because she teaches it for them. So I'm not sure what she
was
uses.
it the Jamie?
Yeah.
When she come in, I asked her when I first got here to do our guys, because we didn't have her done at the time. She's using them little plastic robots.
But that was before we went with Grady, wasn't it?
You know, before we went to grade, but they weren't even teaching the current versions of things. So, and we've got 5 that we sent, about 4 that y'all sent to class to become CPR instructors here, including myself. So, because I try to keep that stuff right and tight. That's important around here. We got such long response time. We know how to do effective CPR.
Yeah.
That is important.
Okay. We'll move to the road department.
Right now, you have $44,039.40 in current lease expense that's coming out of the general fund, and that's for that one motor grader. All of the rest of your lease expense from the road department comes from T-Splost, and that's what I put the note on there. This, I don't know if y'all can read it or not, but I put the note on there that says T-Splost. But y'all do need to talk about if y'all want to purchase any equipment for the road department. Your T-Splost would pay for that, so it wouldn't be included in this capital outlay budget. But what are y'all wanting to get prices on to purchase for the road department?
Really need to sit down with the road department, see what they really need.
You want an equipment list
Yes.
for them?
I don't know of anything that's offhand that I think that they need, but right now,
Tractor and mower.
I know we talked about that. But they talked
2
about
years
it,
ago.
2 years ago. That tractor and mower with a cap on it.
Yeah. Because one of the oldest tractors is a money pit, and the mowers are getting old too, and they cost you more to run them than you can pay a payment on one.
Well, won't we sit down and talk with them and see what it's gonna take to get one, and see what all they need. I know we need a tractor and mower. We talked about that 2 years ago. And we bought the armory.
Yeah.
We were talking about upgrade some of that stuff out there. Or either we lease it out one. But I think that we need to upgrade some of the equipment that we have out there.
How are we, speaking of that, how are we coming with the road superintendent applications?
Wes has been sick, but I got some applications picked out, and we won't look into it sometime. We're gonna, shortly after the first of the year, we're gonna talk about putting somebody out there.
We should have candidates to present next regular meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait until she get a list of the stuff that we need from the road department before we assist in doing the harrowing more for the landfill.
Now we talk about
Put that in with it on the landfill for more and a harrow,
not a harrow,
just the more.
just a mower and the tractor.
You know what I'm saying? Tractor more and a harrow.
Wait, are you talking
For the-
about for the
for
landfill or the
landfill,
road
For the
department?
landfill.
Okay.
For the road department.
I'm gonna throw that phone across the field. Hello? Everybody needs something today.
That couldn't be put in the budget.
Yes, or any request, but I don't
know about a harrow now. Who wants a harrow?
He really said he needed a harrow to keep mowed around the landfill after they moved and for fire trail, you know.
We need to look into that.
Yeah. I think what we just said, once we get some equipment list from the road department, then we can take some action. But,
yeah.
we just need to go ahead and.
Well, if we're moving the landfill back under the road department, whatever you get for the road department can take care of mowing and whatever of the landfill.
Landfill. Yeah, but
So I don't think you need to dedicate one particular tractor and mower to the landfill. We're gonna put them back on the road department.
we just need to go ahead and see what the equipment list is. So we'll go ahead and do that.
All right, so your total on that, adding the 12,000 in there,
I'm in a meeting right now.
is 228.40. In 2018, you budgeted $250,850. and you had 70,000 left from 2017 in that account, which gives you 328.50. So if your lease payments are higher or lower, that number may adjust when we get final lease notes from the bank. But all of the lease notes will have to be brought before y'all anyway, so you will know whether it's the same as what we put in here, more or less.
I lost you on that now. What'd you say now?
On that last page, Mr. Steve,
Yeah.
the total recommended, when you add that $12,000 in there to the two, I added 12,000 there, which made it 281, 228.40. And down at the bottom, my notes, you had 250,850 from the 2018 budget, 70,000 left from the 17 budget, which gives you $320,850 in your capital outlay account. So you'll have, you're not spending all of your capital outlay money. You're leaving yourself room for if some other capital expense comes up.
And then maybe some adjustments in that when you look at,
When we get-
equipment,
Right.
road department, that may be some
Well,
additional.
the road department capital expense will be paid out of T-Splost. It won't come out of this fund.
That's good.
Just thinking back, I don't think they really need anything but a tractor and mower.
Tractor.
So we got two good motor graders, a new loader, a backhoe, we got the sidearm mower, most of everything, some dump
Yeah.
trucks.
Yeah. They was having a little problem with one of the dump trucks.
They're having problems with those dump trucks.
Well, some of them ain't that old. Is it?
They've been around
The
for a
dump
while.
trucks,
I don't know.
I don't, when they were bought.
Why don't we buy those small dump trucks and let them overload them anyway? If
They
people
don't
don't have a
overload.
CDL license?
They're not supposed to overload because the guys don't have CDL license, I think.
That was one of the reasons in years past, they
That
bought
was in the
smaller
years that
ones.
we bought
But I don't
smaller
know
ones.
when y'all bought
Really,
those.
Got quite a few of them because most of the guys didn't have CDL license.
Because I've seen them come out of that pit out there with dirt falling off.
Yeah, they don't.
They shouldn't have that much on them.
No.
That's why I keep having problems with their axles. But
Yeah.
One thing is international. I got a 7-big truck I didn't have down there, all the loads, everything else. I need a motion to accept this. Well,
Yes.
with the addition, with the addition.
With the additional 12.
Yes, and also knowing that Lori's going to bring back to us with another work session to deal with the E911.
Right.
while we're talking about it, you and I talked Friday afternoon, I asked you about it. Why wasn't the EMA invited to that meeting?
To the meeting Friday?
Yeah, about the evaluation of the potential 911 change.
Well, he was invited to the meeting where everybody met with Diverse Power.
No, he
We
should have.
met with Bryn Jones just for him to look at the space out there and to give us estimates on what he thought it would cost.
He should have been involved because he could put some input out in on it. I was told that he wasn't invited.
It really didn't dawn on me to invite him. The guy wanted to look at the space and tell us. If you want him invited to every meeting, I'll be glad to do that.
I'm glad for him to be invited to.
Sheriff will make sure we invite Ken to every one of the 911 meetings.
Because he can allow him.
It was not done intentionally. I know he probably feels like it was, but it was not.
But we need to have better relationship.
Are we going to look? Okay. All right, we need to move on from this. I hear a motion that we accept this work at this point.
I make that motion that we accept the work that test has been completed
With the necessary changes.
Yes.
with changes that are pending in our next report.
I second.
Second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, we'll move from there to our salary adjustment.
This page sums up every department. This is the detail by employee. Your totals by employee on some of your departments will be different than your total by department. For example, the sheriff's department, your total hourly rate wage will not match what you budgeted because you budget extra for holidays and things like that. So, and
This the one?
yes, sir, that's by department.
Okay.
So for total purposes, I used what we actually budgeted. The only changes to what was actually adopted in the budget was y'all made one salary adjustment in executive session a month or so ago. And that was changed on this page to match what y'all done in executive session. The first line is your department ID. The second one is the salaries associated with department. This does not include elected officials because all of your elected officials are set by the state. Your increases are suggested at 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, and 4. And you can see the total increase bottom, FICA and Medicare increases, and the total budget effect on each one of those.
Okay. I think Social Security just went up with 2%, didn't it?
You know, I haven't heard. I'm not sure about that.
I thought they supposed to get 2%.
Oh, you talking about Social Security's rates that they pay?
Yeah.
I think they gave us this year 2%.
Everybody this year 2%.
I don't get it yet, but I'm waiting.
You got yours?
Yeah. Good
Oh,
job,
man.
man. But anyway, what did we give last time we had an increase? 1%, 2%? I know a 2% increase.
Do y'all remember what it was at the first of the year?
I think it was 2%.
I think it was 2.
2%.
It was either 1.5 or 2.
Okay.
But I
think it's, we gave a 2% raise last year. Yeah.
I think it was it, but I'm not 100% certain about that.
And I may, it'd be 2% this year also, because we need to see what we at.
2%?
Yes. I make that motion. 2% will carry us up to the month.
Actually, it would be that 45.
Number to my.
Okay.
That'll be over what we've already budgeted for
Right.
2018.
Mhm.
Right.
We have a motion for 2%. Do I hear a second?
Do we want to? I'm in favor of anything not less than 2%. That's the only percentage you want to look at.
For right now, Wesley, that's what I'm looking at right now. Maybe, down in the year, we may see where we can come and do a little bit more. But right now, I'm just looking at right
How
now.
did the impact of 2% last year? That play on our budget.
I don't I'm not sure. I can
No, it's okay.
I can go dig all that out.
That's okay.
We have a motion, do we,
I'll second it then, if we're not.
or any other discussion? All right, at this point.